Good morning. Welcome to Pour Over Marketing with Rob Southgate. Here, let's go back to that. Uh, it's funny. What I was showing you there, I don't know if I did that on the show or not, but I've been doing a lot with StreamYard, with YouTube. I believe last week we talked all about optimizing your YouTube and some of the things you can do. Uh, so forgive me if I'm repeating myself on that. There. We're here. We're having a little drink. Although this should be coffee. I should be showing coffee in that. Nope, that's still alcohol. There we go. How about a coffee shop? So welcome to the show. It's been quite a week. I'll give you a quick update. And let's see if anybody's in here yet. Not yet. So you know the house we've been working on, my parents' house. It has been what we thought was going to be about a month. Then we turned it to 2 months. That was January that we started working on it, beginning of January. It is now April 26th. And amazingly enough, we were there for a good 13-hour day yesterday. It's been pretty much 6 or 7 days a week, anywhere from 6 to, 13 hours. Yesterday was a long one. And but here's the good news. It gets shot today by the realtor, and next weekend is the open house. So that was my cat celebrating it. So we've done it. We're there. There is still work to be done, but it is ready to be shot. By next weekend, when we have like 2 more days in the house, like long days in the house, we should be at 99%. That last percent is going to be after somebody has purchased the house. We have to get the stage furniture out of there, and then there's a couple of touch-up paint things we have to do, just little minor things. But it goes back to what I was talking about on the show when I was filming from there, and like viewing your marketing as a home, the different rooms, getting things done, getting them complete. Last night, I should say it this way, yesterday when we were going in, we were like, okay, we had these like 3 things that we knew had to be done. And then we said the rest of the day is going to be spent working on this carpet because we had the carpets cleaned. And on the one side, there are these stains and the indents from furniture. We said, okay, even though the carpets were cleaned, those stains didn't come out. We have to see if there's anything we can do. And we have to use the steamer to try to raise the things out. But here's what happens. We got in there and we said, before we have our realtor over here, let's go through and with each room, look at it with a critical eye. This is what I had talked about with your marketing. If you have a newsletter, before you start throwing it out there, although maybe you are throwing it out there, that's fine. If you're doing it from scratch, before you present things, take the time to do all this before. If you're already out there doing it, you haven't missed the boat, you're okay. Do it now. But go through it with a critical eye. Is everything in place? Are the headers there? Do I have the correct links? Do they work? Are these the images? Are these the colors? Get it all in order so that you can say, I'm closing the door to this room. It's done. We don't have to go back in. Carpet's clean, paint is done. All the little mistakes are gone. If it's your marketing, your Facebook page, do I have the group set up right that I want to have? Have I set up my WhatsApp? Do I have my bio right? Do I have, do every little thing as if it was a house you were selling where you go, I got to make sure all the little things are done. I know that as entrepreneurs, we rush past these things. And we do. We go, okay, I slapped the paint on, I've got the thing up, people are looking at it, good. What else do I have to do? And you start doing the other things. But now I'm saying, take a step back, work on that room, get it right, then move to the next room. Best thing you could do is sit down and write a list of what the different places are that you have contact points. I know the easiest thing is, and this is what people are going to do. They're going to say it's social media. They're going to start going through, well, I have Facebook and I have Instagram and I have Threads and this and that. And okay, great. But then what about the other things? What about your website? If you don't know how to do SEO, can you hire somebody? Can you go to Fiverr and have it optimized? Can you subscribe to SEM Rush and put it in there and see if it can be optimized? Like, what can you do to make that room one that the buyer wants to buy and at the maximum amount of money? I'm notorious for this. I start businesses and podcasts and all sorts of stuff all the time. And is everything in order? No. Where I've had my best success with a launch of something, for example, with Southgate Media Group, when we started that thing, we thought we were going to have 3 shows and have a couple of other podcasters in the first couple of years, and it exploded underneath us. It all of a sudden we had 36 podcasters, and we had, I think it was 36 shows or 32 shows, and then I'm starting to lose track very quickly. Like within a couple of months, we thought that wasn't even close. That was like 10 times what we thought was going to happen in the first 5 years. So were we ready? Did we have all the rooms ready? Absolutely not. I was ham-fistedly stumbling through, even like, I don't even know how to tweet. What's a hashtag? And we're gaining ground. When we recorded the first one, we were like, yeah, we want to do this. We're going to start a network, but we got to start with one show. That was smart. And so we said, okay, we recorded an episode. Maeve and I sat down and recorded an episode and then went, oh, how do you put this on the internet? How are people going to find it? If we had done a little due diligence beforehand, and I understand, spur of the moment, you don't really want to do due diligence. You want to make things happen. Same thing with your business. You're a carpet cleaner, like I just mentioned. You're a realtor. You're a car detailer. You're an artist. You're a writer. You own a restaurant. Whatever it is, you want to jump in and start making things happen. And you've got 1,000 rooms you're dealing with. So you're like, how do we make the outside look like a house? And they can walk in the door and they can give me monies, and then we'll figure it out. Well, now I'm saying, go back and work on the rooms. List out what is every aspect: website, newsletter, podcast, table. Am I doing live events? What does my social media look like? Like everything. And then in each of those things, those are all the rooms. Build a house, build all the rooms, and then go back and start figuring out what's all the stuff in here. Do I have plates on every light or every outlet? You'd be surprised. We were doing my parents' house and we were pulling things out. And we're like, oh, a plate was never put on this. Had to go and buy a plate and put a plate on. We all have that. So does your business. So does your marketing. So if you can take a day or half a day or a few hours and really look at that, really try to figure that out, each of the things, it can be a living document. You can keep adding to it. And does it have to be to-dos? No. I started building a spreadsheet for pour over marketing and putting things in like, okay, these are things that need to be done. There's to-dos in that list, but there's also things that it's like, I want to make sure this is right. So like an example of that, StreamYard. StreamYard was one of the things I had to put on there because this is an important part of my business. Okay. Whatever my video source going out is an important part of my business. Well, you can see it's up, it's running. I've got banners, I've got images, I've got things going on, right? But I did put down, banners, images, blah, blah, blah. But then I noticed when I was doing it, there were things that could be better. Things could be improved. Things could be polished. That's what you want to do. Polish every part of it and look at your curb appeal with each room. Does it look good? Like in this case, is it better for me to have my background, which is a mess today, or is it better to have a fake background? Is it better to have my show look like this? And I can put text over here, or I can put whatever. Like, these are all the things you want to think about to fine-tune things. So, okay, so far nobody's in here today. Let's see if people are congregating at Facebook, because I had people said they were going to be here, and I know it's early on a Saturday. Let's see if anybody said anything. It's so funny. I've got people making comments this morning about old episodes. I'm right here. Okay, here we go. Oh, maybe it's an internet thing. It's very slow opening that up. There we go. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I see people that are supposedly watching on there, but I don't see anybody here. It's okay. So let's close this up. We'll go back to this. Okay, that was enough about the house and the marketing. That's something that you really need to work on. That's something I need to work on. That's something you need to work on. And don't be afraid to ask for help. I mean, you're not an expert in every area. I'm not an expert in every area. I learn. I watch videos. I take classes. I go to webinars. I talk to people and ask questions. But always keep those eyes open too. What's something I can do to improve my thing? So that brings me to one of the things today. Let's see if I can pull it up here. So I told you we had the carpet cleaned, right? And this carpet cleaner was recommended by our realtor, Dr. Jose Resto, and he recommended this 5-star carpet cleaning, which is, let's see if I can find them in here now. I have them as a contact, but I don't see where it went. But I do see people that are no longer in business that are in my contacts. So I'm going to have to make some changes. So anyway, he recommended this carpet cleaner, and I had to leave. 5-star steam carpet cleaning. So I had to leave and go to school and teach. I come back and Maeve says, you got to see this really cool thing that the guy showed me. And what he had done is, she was talking to him afterwards, and he said, oh, if you could give us a review, that really helps. Of course, we try to do that every time. It does really help. You guys know that. You're a restaurant. If they do a Google review, it adds up. If everybody that ate in your restaurant did a Google review and 95% of them were 5 stars, your business goes up. You do better. You're a podcast. People put like, they make a comment, they review it. Your business goes up. 1 or 2, maybe not, but it starts with 1 or 2. Get to 100, get to 1,000. Now you're talking. So this guy said, could you please do that? She said, yeah, of course. And she says, do I just look, just type in 5-star carpet? And he said, oh, no, here, put me as a contact. So here's what he did. He says, put me in your phone as a contact, which she did. And it comes up with his contact information. Okay. You can see he put an image for his business. It's got the name. It says stream your way to a healthier home. Now it's not going to, I can see the white balance is going to make it so you can't see this. But then you scroll down, and we all have this ability. You can take your phone right now, and you've got your information in there. Like I have a picture of myself, so that when somebody calls me, unless they've changed the picture, that picture of me is what pops up. But this guy's using this as a card. So he puts that on there. So put your picture, put your logo, whatever, at the top. Make it a card. We're not there yet. Just wait. So then you scroll down, it's got phone number. These are all options that are already there. It always has your phone number because you put them in their contact list. Have people put you as a contact, your business as a contact. So if you have a business number, great. If you're using your personal like I do, go ahead. Let them do it, right? Then you go down, they put their email, they put their business email. Very good. Then you go down, and this was the part that blew my mind. He's got it set up like a link tree. Okay? So, I wish you could see it. There you can. So when you go into your contact, well, I should tell you what it says here, and then I'll tell you how to do it. It's got 5-star carpet cleaning dot profile. Okay, so he has one of those dot business cards. It has a link to the dot profile. You click on it, it goes right to his business card, basically. Google reviews. Haha. For his business, Google reviews are the lifeblood. So he puts Google reviews as a header and then a link right to it. And what does it do? It takes you directly to something where you can just go, 5 stars. Would you like to write a review? So you're a podcaster and you're always begging people to do your reviews. You meet somebody like, oh, where can I listen to your thing? Oh, or I really liked it. Hey, did you give me a review? Here you go. Put me in your contacts. Click on that. You can do a review right there. Boom. He puts his YouTube channel because he does demonstration stuff like we've talked about on here. Get a YouTube channel and do something with your business. This is a carpet cleaner. If you think my business doesn't apply, you're not thinking hard enough. He has a YouTube channel. What does he do on there? Some tricks for getting stains out. Maybe shows videos of them doing a carpet thing. A little. They don't need very much. They can be shorts. He's got his Instagram, got his Facebook. And then the last thing is his Google business page. And he's got some, as you can see, some emojis on it there. White balance. There we go. Then at the bottom, it's got the map to his location. So I thought this was really cool. And it does remind me of a link tree. So I thought, oh, okay, so how do I do this? So I went in and went to this is a chat I have. Okay. See, it's got my picture with Molly up there. This is my chat with Molly. And I clicked on info. So I'm in the contact information for myself. I click on info. It puts your phone number at the top. It puts FaceTime. You can click on it. It has your email. Then it says notes. And I was like, how is he putting these URLs? How is he doing this with emojis? How is he doing it? Up at the top, up here, is an edit button. When you click on that, you can add your first name, last name, your company. This is where he put in 5-star cleaning. So he took his name out of it and he put his 5-star cleaning. Has his phone number. Okay. You can add a number. So if you have a couple, like let's say you have a fax machine, you're living in the 90s and you have a fax machine, you can put it in there. If you want to put your mobile number, you can put it in there. Okay. I'm going to delete those. I just started to put them in while I was talking because I was like, oh, I could show you. If you have multiple emails that you want to use, you've got your business email, but maybe you want to do, let's say you have a couple of businesses. I have Southgate Media Group. I also have my consulting business. I also have my publishing job, right, where I'm the VP of marketing for Four Horsemen. Maybe I want to put all 3 of those emails in and say, that way people know, oh, these are the places you can reach me. They go directly to me, right? You can add pronouns. You can add a ringtone, blah, 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 blah. But here's where it gets great. Add URL. I click on that, and you can put in a URL. Okay. When you do that, it automatically goes and says homepage URL, home URL. But what 5-star did is if you click on this blue thing, like where it says homepage, let's see if I can do it this way. Look what it opens up. Can you see that? Probably not. White balance. It opens it up and it says other school, work, home, homepage. So those are the options that are automatically set up. But under it, it says add custom label. When you click on that, that's what he did. Google reviews, emojis, whatever. And then he puts the URL. And that's what created that essential link tree in his contacts. But with that, rate and review me right there. Is this going to be something you're going to do constantly? No, probably not. Is it super useful? Heck yeah. He's interacting with a customer. They said they liked it. He said, would you mind giving me a review? Here, put me in your contacts. What did that do? It put him in her contacts. So whenever she needs carpet cleaning, or here's somebody, oh God, this just happened this week. Somebody said to us, oh, I need to have somebody clean my couch. We went, oh, we'll see if our carpet cleaner does that. This guy. There you go. Now you have a contact in your phone. You can also share that contact. When they go to it, it's like a living business card where it's got all this information. It looks good. Oh, here's the other thing. You know how it has the image? He didn't do this, but see how it has your image in the middle? You can also edit this and change the background. Make it look more professional. Make it into that curb appeal that we were talking about earlier. I mean, that's really cool stuff. And get those URLs. Figure out what are the important ones to me. Reviews, probably important. My Amazon author page, probably important. My website, definitely important. In my case, I would probably put my Substack, because when you go to my Substack, the main one, it actually, you can see I have like 2 or 3 in there. I don't need to put a link to each of them. This is my Substack. If you want to put your social media, great. But here's what I'm thinking of doing, because I have to build all this. I mean, none of this stuff is off the top of your head. You got to sit and think about, what do I want it to look like? What are the colors? What do I want to say? You've got to do all that stuff, right? So what I'm thinking is I was already rebuilding my link tree. I love Linktree. I was actually thinking of having multiple link trees. So one that is for my business side of things, one that is the podcast link tree. I could make a link tree just for pour over, and putting things in there like links to each of the social media, links to the blogs, links to specific blog posts or episodes, links to when I guest on things. I just guested on Astonishing Legends. On my main one, I want to put a link to that. Hear me on Astonishing Legends. There's a link in my link tree. So on this, on your contact, you put, check out for social media. Here's my link tree. Then they go to that, and there's more ways for them to interact with you and find you and do things. The key is engagement. We've talked about this a lot, right? Engagement. What can you have them do that they want to engage with that's cool and fun, and there's a reason to do something? If they go to your link tree and it's just, here's my Facebook, here's my Instagram, here's this, great. Some are going to click on those and subscribe, and then they never have a reason to go back to your link tree. But if you're putting things like, here's an interview I was on, here's a blog post I did, here's a link to my latest book, that's how you use Linktree. Update it, change it, make it fresh. Okay? Think about things that would be interesting while still having links to the critical social media or YouTube channel or whatever it is you want to drive them to, your website that you want to drive them to. Subscribe to my newsletter. Bam, that's a great one on your Linktree. That could also be a link on this newsletter. Get a URL that they click on, and they can automatically sign up for your newsletter. They can rate and review you where you want them to rate and review you. They can go to your link tree and get all your socials, because let's face it, they don't want to scroll through 20 different things. Give them like 5, 6 things, right? So we've got to think about, where do I want to send them? What do I want them to do? And then your link tree can be a little bit more fun and have those things like, Here's a specific this, here's a specific that. How cool is that? Now you're building something that people want to engage with. They want to show their friends. When I saw this carpet cleaner, I was like, oh my God, I want to talk about this on the show. I want people to do this. I'm going to do this because it's just one more point of entry that should be there. In fact, if we go back to that whole house metaphor, I've just added like another closet off the foyer. The entry point, maybe that's the entry point. Maybe that's where your curb appeal is. It has its own curb appeal, but I always figure that you've got, let's say your website is the main thing. There's your big curb appeal, and you've got all the stuff, and everything in the house is basically getting fine tuned basically within the rooms of that house. This is kind of like putting a side door that looks really great, and you click on it, and it takes you to every room in the house, but a different way. Maybe this is a back door, and then the link tree is a link tree would be either another door or it's the map to you are here. I don't know. I'm losing myself in this metaphor. It took me a while to respond to this one, but why haven't I thought of that, Miranda? I don't know. I don't know. I hope you're responding to why haven't I thought about doing all this with my phone, or with any of the other ideas, or I mean, if it's just like having a puppet in the background, why haven't I thought of that? I don't know. Today's our day to get our house in order. Uh, we've been doing so much work at the other house, we've had to neglect things. And uh, today, not only am I going to be doing some thought organizing and cleaning, but we are actually going to try to go through the house and do some real cleaning and laundry and all the stuff to get us ready for the week. I mean, you do that, right? And if you don't, maybe you should. And then why wouldn't you do that for your business? When we had our store, I just had two thoughts, two things that worked, or that we did. One was, uh, you go to bed, you're exhausted, you've been working all day, you've got this store, right? Go to bed, and of course, your mind starts thinking about the next day and things you need to do. And one thing that Maeve and I would do is we would like have a notebook by the side of the bed. We'd say, okay, obviously thoughts are in the air. Let's just write them out. And we would jot things down. Some of the great ideas that worked for us came from that. Very specific one. It was fairly early into our business. I want to say it was springtime. We had it was probably so we opened in the fall. It was probably like inching up on summer, and we were like, we wanted to try and move some of the stuff because you already have some inventory that's like sitting there, some furniture and that. We're like, how do we move some of this stuff and maybe stimulate some sales? And you didn't have all the social media and stuff back then because we're old. But we did have an email list. So what we came up with, and this was one of these things, we were like going to bed, trying to think of this, and we sat down, we wrote some things out, and one of us said, having a sale is okay, but having a flash type of sale. This was on a Saturday night. We're like, let's send something out first thing tomorrow, like 8 a.m. And we'll do like a spring is in the air sale. We're doing some house cleaning just like you are. Come in today, get 20% off on any in-stock crib, 10% on any order. And we thought, we'll just see what happens. This was an idea we had at 1 a.m. and we're getting up and we have to be in there at like 9 a.m. Yeah, let's try this. We did it, and it was incredibly successful. We sold out of all that back inventory that was already there as a new business. We're like, holy cow. So that's one thing. Have a notepad and take the time. That was the key to what I was saying. We took the time. Forget the promotion. We thought of great promotions. Everybody thinks of great promotions. But we took the time. We said, we're going to sleep. Oh my God, we're so exhausted. It's 1 a.m. That means, because with that store, we were in Wrigleyville. We closed at 6, but then we had to clean and paint and do all the stuff. We were probably there till 11 o'clock at night at least. You know, you eat dinner on the fly. By the time you go up at 11, it's like, I ate one meal today. I got to eat something. And 11 o'clock eating is going to be too hard on the body. So we better stay up and maybe watch a little TV or read. And then we went, brainstorming is starting to happen. We got to lean into it. Okay. So take the time. The other thing we did is we did it with purpose. So typically it would be like our store opened at, I can't remember if it was 9 or 10. I know we were down there some days at 7 in the morning after getting finally in at midnight. I want to say we opened at 10, but we were working well before that. But one of the things we did was we would do it with purpose. We would say, okay, tomorrow morning, let's get up. Let's have breakfast. Let's not talk business during breakfast if we can avoid it, because that's all you want to talk about then. And then at 8 o'clock, let's go down to the store and sit at the table and talk about all the different aspects. Are we doing this? Did we try this? Does this need to be cleaned? And we'd write a list. So there's your to-do. Remember, I don't know if you guys listened when I did the whole thing about achieving dreams and how you make the list and you take the to-dos and you pull them out, you separate the wheat from the chaff, that whole thing. That's what we were doing. We were saying, here are the things that we kind of have goals of getting done. What are some of the steps? Then there were the to-dos. Today, we got to clean this. We got to do this. We got to change that. Even if they were things that weren't on our list, but all of a sudden when we're sitting in the environment, we go, what is it people see when they walk in the door? That we had we had strung, it was a monkey, it was Curious George on a unicycle, that it was a thing for kids' rooms that went back and forth. Well, this is a baby store, so we put it across the store, and in that first year we had it, and it would wheel back and forth. We really had it on when the store was closed. So anybody walking by it would catch their eye. Something's moving in there. Then they'd look like, oh, how cute. It's Curious George going back and forth. Oh, look at this store, right? So we'd sit there and go like, okay, what are those things? What is that curb appeal? What are the things that are going to attract attention? And we'd make a list. To-dos, goals, ideas. That one's a little different than your goal list. It was strictly ideas. Some of them valid, some of them went by the wayside quickly. Doesn't matter. The restrictors were always off with us. We're just like, you got an idea? Let's do it. I remember there was one time, Maeve shot it down only because it was I think it was a Sunday. It might have been a weekday. In fact, no, I think it was. We had our second store. We were up in Lake Forest, and we had this really, really cute store. And business was not going well. It was kind of the worm had turned, and it wasn't just for us. I mean, the economy shifted. All these upper end baby stores were going out of business. In fact, one big vendor called us to congratulate us on being the last one, right? I will read that in a second, Miranda. I see a nice long post. Power went out. Okay. The whole area, the power went out. And I saw shop owners like walking outside like, oh. And we sat down at our table and we're like, okay. Oh no, we had a bench outside. We went and sat on our bench. And I said, well, I still see cars driving by. It's obvious that the power's out. What can we do? And she said, take a break. And then I had this idea to do powers out sale, where like all clothing, because we did a lot in clothing there. We had all the stuff, but for some reason in that location, clothing was big. And I said, let's do a big like off the rack clothing sale while the power's out. If it comes on in 15 minutes, sale's over. But we'll do a big one, like stimulate sales. We'll put a rack out that has all this stuff that we wanted to move, older inventory, and we'll do 50% off on it during the blackout. Great idea. I loved it. Maeve did not, only because it was like, oh my God, what if we do all that work because it was cool? And then you got to get it out there. And there was no social media to do this with. So it would have been creating an email, getting it out. Maybe they open it, maybe they don't. And then she said, yeah. And if it all comes on 10 minutes into it and we haven't even put it out there, what are we doing? It's a great idea though. So we did say, let's have a few of those ideas for when power goes out or when there's a huge storm. How do we stimulate it? There's a huge storm. Nobody's coming in. Phone orders. Like, how do we do things to stimulate that so that people know we're there, we're reacting to what's going on? We understand uh, there's a hailstorm and you're not coming into the store. Call today during the hailstorm and get X amount off or get a free gift or whatever it was. But it was because of that, taking the time, talking it out, that we found these things. Okay, Miranda, I'm done with that big, long thing. I haven't even read your thing here. I do have a legitimate question. I think everything is legitimate, Miranda. There are no bad questions. People talk a lot about being in views jail or that the algorithm is pushing down certain types of accounts. It does. Is there any merit to that? There is. As an LGBTQ creator, it's really disheartening to see certain posts do well while others go flat. Okay. So the question is not, is there merit to it? I mean, that is a question in there, but we have more. There's a bigger question to this. So first of all, yes, the algorithm can put you in jail. The views jail does happen, even though they claim it doesn't. I've seen it. I've been put in Facebook jail. This was so stupid. When our book came out, we were trying to promote, it was right at Christmas. This is my book. And we were trying to promote it. And I made this ad where Santa was holding it. It wasn't really an ad. It was just, I mean, it was. But I put a link where you could pre-order it. And I didn't post it everywhere. I sent it to friends and I put it on our company and on my personal pages. Just said, hey, pre-order the book. Our new book is out. And all of a sudden, all my stuff shut down. And I was off Facebook for like 2 weeks. And what it said was that we were spamming, we were sending people to false links and all that. I'm like, it's the link to buy our book. I didn't put it out as an ad. It's our site. So I know you're not talking about advertising. You're talking about what you post. And yes, whatever the algorithm catches, I know right now we're in a climate where if you say certain things, I've heard people say, yeah, I was saying something negative about our government, and all of a sudden, I'm in jail. I'm in Facebook jail, hopefully not real jail. That's happening too. Where they were like, I thought it was innocuous. I just said I didn't like this one thing, and then bam. Who knows what the algorithm caught and how it caught it? Who knows if it catches everybody? I don't know. So for you, when you're saying you're an LGBTQ creator, which of course you are, I know that. What I would say is I've got two thoughts for you, Miranda. First, damn the torpedoes. Say what you're going to say. Okay. I've seen what you post. I know what you post. At least I think I do. And I see no reason you'd have to worry at all. Okay. So if you were doing something, God, you don't worry about it. Now, the algorithm may say, I mean, with the way the political climate is right now, we have no idea. It may say, oh, all LGBTQ pro anything gets shadow banned or whatever. You can't get around that. But until that happens, damn the torpedoes. Go ahead and post your things. This is a book with, queer romance or whatever. Don't be afraid of that. Go ahead and do it. I would stay away when it's your business of posting anything political for your business. It's best, unless your business involves politics, sex, or religion, stay away from those three because they're hot buttons. And they're not just hot buttons where you could get trolls coming in and attacking you, or it could antagonize people unintentionally because they read one thing and they don't know what you're actually saying because they're so focused on that one word. Or the algorithm is scrubbing for that word, and when it picks it up, it decides we're going to ban you until we make a different determination. I mean, this happens. I would not worry about it. In fact, Miranda, if you are really feeling worried about that, I would suggest two things. One is you should set up a session with me, and we can talk about your strategy, what you're doing. The second thing is I would really look hard at what you're doing and say, do I have all the eggs in this basket? Am I using Facebook as 90% of my marketing? Because if you are, and you're not doing the other things, this is a lot scarier. With me, I don't really worry about the social media stuff that much. I do. When it's on my business side of things, I have my rules. I don't breach those. When it's my personal one, uh, I try to just be super truthful and say this is what I'm seeing and I'm nervous about this, or this is awesome, try this. I figure if it gets banned because I'm speaking out about something, that's a bigger issue and I'm not going to worry about it. My business, I don't let it cross over into that. There's nothing that I do that I think, especially on my business side of things, that I think would ever cause that. But I also don't worry about it because in the scheme of things, Facebook, Instagram, these are a sliver of what I do with marketing. So if Facebook gets banned and I'm offline for a month, okay. I mean, yeah, it's cutting off a bit of a pipeline, but it's not the pipeline. What they can't take away from you is your newsletter. What they can't take away from you, I mean, I guess that could, is your website. But if you do all your SEO and you don't get the government stepping in or the owners of the company stepping in and saying, we don't like the content on your website. No, you can say what you want there. What the key is to find audience, build audience into that. And then use that trick I showed you. Like, use this so that you're saying, here's my website. Go follow me there. Join my Substack. You can speak freely. You don't have to worry about getting banned on Substack because the only people interacting with it are people that are subscribing to you or people that subscribe to somebody else who they go, I really liked what Miranda said here. I'm going to share it with my audience. So the person in hot water, if Miranda, you write a blog post that you're looking at this going, oh man, I'm afraid that would get banned. Put me in Facebook jail, right? But I really like this Substack you wrote, and I share it. The onus is on me then. Because if my audience goes, hey, I don't like it, I shared it with them, not you. You don't get shadow banned or anything. My audience gets mad at me and says, I'm not going to follow you anymore. Okay. The other thing to remember is when it comes down to that part of it, it's a big ocean. There's a lot of fish. Don't worry about the couple of smelt that don't like you. Not everybody is going to read a book that or listen to an album that is LGBTQ centric. Okay. They either have a problem with it it's just not their thing. Or they haven't been exposed to it enough. And that's what you're doing, is you're exposing them to it so they go, hey, this is what's wrong here. I should try this. Okay. The way you do that effectively is your website, your newsletter. Your newsletter and Substack can be the same thing. Writing blog posts, getting the word out there, sharing your message. If it's only just promoting what you do, yeah, you're going to get banned. You're going to end up in Facebook jail. If it's this other stuff, I mean, I wouldn't worry about persecution from a social media place. Heck, if you're really legit worried about it, try to convert your fans over to Blue Sky, because Blue Sky is not doing that. They are not going to do that. I think Blue Sky is probably the safest of these as far as censorship. Did that answer things pretty well? I hope it did. I want you to have the freedom to do your thing. I think, Miranda, you deserve an audience, and I think you deserve to not be in fear of getting put in social media jail. And if you do the things I'm talking about, even though there's a bunch of different outlets to social media, make it 1/8 of what you do. Make it 1/10 of what you do. And you will actually get a lot more fruit that way, and you're safeguarded. You know? We didn't have social media when we had our store, and we were very successful. Would it be more successful now with social media? I don't think so. I think the areas of opportunity would be greater with being able to blog, being able to have SEO, all that kind of stuff. Get a podcast, make a vlog, use, like, when I say use TikTok, I don't mean it has to be TikTok. Make short videos, share them to Instagram, share them to TikTok, share them to Facebook Reels. And now one gets shut down, they're still here. They're still out there. Okay. Yes, thank you. I'm trying to move to Blue Sky, but that platform gives me no traction compared to everywhere else. Maybe I need to invest more time in it. Yeah, and you know what? That's just it too. Yeah. Maybe it doesn't give you traction. I'll tell you where I've been getting a lot more traction out of nowhere is Threads, which is weird because it's tied to Meta, but we seem to be able to do whatever you want over there, and nobody's sending you notification or limiting anything. It's like Threads has been great. I really like Blue Sky because I know that they're not going to have these restrictors, and maybe it's just a matter of doing the legwork. Watch some YouTube videos. How do I grow my audience on Blue Sky? How do I optimize my account on Blue Sky? Every platform, this is a constant that I have seen. Every platform, living or dead, because there's things like Periscope that was great and it died. Vines was great and it died. The original Twitter was a lot of fun. It's not fun now. A lot of people are gone from it. But the one constant I can say is every platform, people do figure out how to have an audience. You'll go on Blue Sky and you'll go, oh my God, this creator has 7 million followers and I have 14. Look at what they're doing. Maybe look up some things on like how to grow that audience and then see if you can recognize it in what that other person is doing. The fastest way to grow your audience on Blue Sky, in my opinion, is the same tactic to use with everybody, with every platform, I should say. Find some creators that are similar to you, writers, okay, that do kind of what you do. Look for the ones with the big audiences. Follow them. Not only watch what they're doing, okay, because that's going to tell you something. Sometimes it's just, oh, they're a celebrity, they've got all this huge audience. Yeah, but there's a lot of them that aren't celebrities that form this whatever, and it works. Try to figure that out. But the other thing you can do is you can start looking at their followers. Follow back. Follow them. Let them follow you back. Go back and forth with that. You follow, they follow back. They follow you, you follow back. I know that they say, the experts say, oh, it's better to have like you as a company, you're not following hardly anybody and you have like 1 million followers. Well, yeah, that just shows that like everybody's into you, right? But to get there, first of all, I've never been able to execute that. What I've been able to execute is what around here with my podcast team, we called it the golden circle, or the golden ratio. Sorry. I mean, you guys know what the golden ratio is, the spiral. So there was a golden ratio to Twitter that we figured out. One of my podcasters actually manipulated it until he figured it out. It was like 87%, 87.1% followers versus following. So if you had, if it wasn't that, it was like 47.1, 87 doesn't make sense. So if like 47.1%, God, I've got to find it. It doesn't apply anymore, but everyone has this. It's an algorithm. Okay. So I'm just going to make it easy. If you have 500 followers and you're following 400 and it was something weird like 462 following and you have 500 followers, what it did is it triggered Twitter to put you in that list of people you should be following. And your numbers would exponentially go up. And if you kept watching that and going, oh, okay, I got more followers, I need to follow some more people. Or it dipped the other way. Okay, I need to get rid of some people to keep the followers higher. Keeping the followers higher was always key, but it was a tighter margin than what the experts tell you it is. Sure, if you're Nike, real easy to have 1 million followers and only follow 18 people. Okay? Because that's a corporate account. It's not there to follow people and engage. But if you want engagement, people notice. People notice. If Miranda, if you follow me, okay? Let's say I have 5,000 followers and you follow me. I follow you back. Let's say you have 100 followers. But I do notice it because I do look and see who followed me, right? Because if it's a bot or something, I try to get rid of it. So let's say I look and it's like, oh, here's Miranda. And she's got 100 followers and she follows 500 people. Well, guess what? She thought enough of me to make sure I was in that 500. I got to make sure I give her a follow. People do that, especially small businesses, entrepreneurs. So whatever platform you're on, that is a smart way to do it, is follow for follow. There are also, and this is something you can look at on Blue Sky. I have not explored this yet, but I guarantee it's out there, that there are like book day, right? New releases, whatever day. There'll be a hashtag for that. In fact, you could go in and look up hashtags and figure out what are the special days. What are the special days on Blue Sky for authors? Type that into Google. And you'll come back with hashtag new releases Thursday. Hashtag what I'm working on. What's the next book I'm working on? Wednesday, whatever. And then there'll be people that do things that say things like, a rising tide raises all boats. Drop your handle in. We'll follow you. You follow us. Okay. I did this to get a foothold in the gaming industry. It was on Wednesdays on Twitter where they did a thing, a rising tide day or whatever. And I would go in and somebody would post one of these posts and there'd be 50 responses, people saying, follow this, follow that. And I would follow each one of them and boom, I would have huge growth in followers. because it was follow for follow. But they were all people interested in that topic that were there for that reason. And I made connections. Now, yeah, there's some dumb ones that get in there, but you know what? Those were the people that wanted what I had to offer because I was targeting them through this. That is a quick way to do it. And follow for follow, not targeted, is worthless. So when you get those posts like, follow me, I'll follow you back, great. If it's not one of these things where it's targeted to your audience, well, I'll give you another example. I kept ending up, after I did that, people would make their own of these posts and they would say, this week's followers, like of note. And I would end up in there and there'd be a link. And it's like, follow this week's followers because they're awesome. And I'd get more because they put me on that list. And as I got those, what did I do? I would click on it, look at it, follow them back. If it was a bot, you can do that on Blue Sky. Here's the other thing, Miranda. If it's not there on Blue Sky, let's talk about that. Maybe we're the ones that start that trend and start inviting other authors to do the follow for follow on Friday, whatever. Talk about what you're working on. Show off your new cover. Follow for follow. You will grow audience. And yeah, you go, well, yeah, but I'm just getting authors. You're not, though. Yes, in the beginning, you're just getting the authors because you're follow for following with authors, but you're also getting people that read, people that are fans of authors. Slip into those. That gaming thing, I made all these connections with gaming studios and writers and that. But what else did I get? I still get fruit from it. I still get people that follow me because they think I'm this big gamer. And I'm like, I'm not a big gamer. I love games. I just don't have time. But they view me as like, wait, I should be following this guy because he shares cool stuff. He knows people in the industry. He's doing his thing. And I do still get people that follow, even though I haven't been doing anything with that show in like over a year. I still have a machine going of that because of these rising tide things. So maybe now that I've said it, we're going to start doing that on Blue Sky. Try to build up some author stuff. Okay, did I answer everything okay? Did that help? Was it too crazy? I don't know. Okay, a little bit of housekeeping really quick, and then we're done. Unless Miranda pops in with another question. Couple of things. If you do want to do a session with me, I'm a coach and a consultant. I have I do it about marketing. I do it about your business. I do it about achieving goals. I can sit here and split out names of companies that I've started with this, but the bottom line is it's me. So if you want to work with me, we can set up a free session. Just let me know, or go to the website southgatesmallbusiness.com or thepodcastprofs.com. There's a thing right there that says sign up for a free session. It is not a timeshare. Sign up for a free session. You get like 20 minutes to a half hour, depending, where you can ask me some questions. It's almost like office hours on Discord. Ask me some questions. If it seems like something that you could use some consulting on, or you want to move forward into that, then we talk about what it costs and what we would build for you. For some people, it's 1 or 2 sessions. Others, it's ongoing. But in that free session, I give you ideas. I pour it out. It's kind of like what we do here, only it's you. It's just you and me. So if you'd like to sign up for one of those, let me know. You could also, if you don't go to those websites, just message me in Facebook, message me on Instagram. It's all under Rob Southgate or Southgate Media Group. You could even go to Four Horsemen Publications and find me there and just say, hey, I'd really love to talk to you. And there you go. And like I said, I've done it about just achieving dreams, about getting past the blocks that you might have. I've done it about marketing specifically, helping you get a strategy, helping you fine tune things. I help somebody get a book published. I helped them another one that was trying to build almost like a network. And I was like, okay, well, if anybody knows how to build a network, it's me. Any little area. We talk about your marketing as a house. Pick a room. You want to talk about it? Let me know. Love to help you out. Okay. I think that's it. If you'd like to buy me a coffee, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/smgpods. What I've been doing there is posting 5 questions with our old podcasters, not old, but the ones that were with us. So you get an update as to where they're at. And if people start subscribing on Buy Me a Coffee, I'm going to put more content on there. We also have a Patreon page for Southgate Media Group, which I used to post all the episodes to. As I've been redoing everything, I'm going to be starting to add not only new content, but going back to the old content and starting to add it in different ways. And once again, we start building a thriving community. We'll make a thing there. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing live things there and doing some fun things related to that. And Pour Over Marketing every Saturday morning, 8 o'clock. We are going to 8 a.m. Central, I should say. And I've had a lot of people complaining that that's too early. That's why you're pouring coffee into you. I mean, I'm up at 6 or 5. 8 o'clock seems like half my day. But very soon I'm going to be starting. I haven't decided. It might be twice a month, might be 4 times a month, but the sister show to Pour Over Marketing, the Pour Over Happy Hour, is coming back. It's going to be Thursday nights. I just have not set the time. That way you can do it after work, and we can do this. Um, so very soon, like in the next 4 weeks, we'll have an announcement on that. And there's also more Pour Over content coming. Maeve is jumping into the fray with me, and we have a couple of different ideas that we're going to start some sub shows to this that will live on our YouTube channel. New Media Lab is where our YouTube channel is currently, or Southgate Media Group. Stay tuned, because I think we might be changing everything over to Pour over there from New Media Lab and making the channel be Pour Over Marketing, and then put New Media Lab episodes on there. There we go. Thank you, everybody. Please reach out. I got time for some consulting. Let's do this thing. And I think we're going to have a special guest either next week or the following week to talk about using AI in marketing. I've been doing some real experimentation with it. I did it with a realtor yesterday, the realtor I was talking about, and his mind was blown. He rewrote one of the things right there with something that we were doing. I'm not saying use AI to write your content. I'm saying use it to enhance. It's a tool. It's a valuable tool if used right. If used to create your content, that's a mistake. That's garbage. There are great ways to use it that make it just an invaluable, wonderful tool. So I'm going to have a guest to talk about that. I'm hoping next week, might be the following week. And if not, I'll be back with another topic and more about how to do this, because I'm going to get mine tweaked, and then I'm going to build out my LinkedIn. Maybe next week we'll talk LinkedIn. Again, thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend. Oh, go get some coffee.